Welcome back to Northwest News. In this week's edition, we'll look at Northwest Missouri Hope Emergency Response Training, Northwest Fishing Club, and more. You're watching Northwest News.
Thanks for tuning in to Northwest News, the show where we provide the latest coverage on the Northwest Missouri State University campus and in the Maryville community. I'm Wiley Ray.
And I'm Skylar Stamps. Before we get into this week's episode, be sure to hit that notification bell for all the latest news coverage as well as other KNWT content.
This past weekend, Northwest held its annual Missouri Hope Emergency Response Field Training, which invited students, employees, and community members to work as role players during the exercise. Reporter Kendall Crawford has more on the experience.
This Thursday through Sunday, Northwest hosts its annual Missouri Hope event. Missouri Hope is an emergency response field training exercise and is required for students studying majors or minors in emergency and disaster management.
My name is Peter Adam, and I'm the role player coordinator for Missouri Hope. There are sort of two sides to Missouri Hope. There's a training side where essentially people that are being trained as first responders learn how to deal with victims and all of the problems that can arise in a disaster scenario. I'm sort of the other end because I'm the one that supplies the disaster because I organize volunteers to play wounded victims and essentially make scenarios for them to address while they're being trained. The event as a whole actually has lots of little units. The whole story is that a tornado has come through and destroyed a town called Redden Village. And right where the tornado struck is essentially a number of people that have been wounded directly by the tornado. And there's going to be one unit of trainees that are going to go and rescue them, bring them up, treat them, and bring them to a hospital for further treatment. At the same time, there's another scenario that's over water where there's been flooding associated with the tornado, and there's going to be people that essentially got displaced and are isolated on various inlets and stuff on the land, and the trainees are going to be learning how to evacuate them by boat. There's a third scenario where somebody might be trapped tall in a building or some other structure, and there's a high ropes group that's being trained on how to evacuate people in that kind of scenario. And then behind it all, there's other people being trained on how to talk with local authorities like the police and the government, as well as finding ways to secure medical equipment or to find helicopter help and ambulances, that kind of thing. And they're being trained essentially how to do the logistics of an operation like this.
A key part of Missouri Hope is its role players. Event organizers invite all students, staff, and community members to get involved. These role players are made up to resemble victims with different injuries sustained as a result of natural disasters such as a tornado, as well as fire or flooding.
My name's Madison Geschwind. I am a student at Northwest and I'm a senior. This is my second year doing it. The first year that I did it, I took interest in it, and one of my teachers was offering extra credit for it. So I went ahead and did it. And I found it to be quite fun. I used to do theater, so the acting portion is really fun, but I also really just like being able to help out future first responders. I tell anybody who's willing and has the time to do the volunteer work, it's definitely something that is fun to do, and it's really helpful, so I definitely recommend it.
For the stories that matter to you, I'm Kendall Crawford, reporting for Northwest News.
For more information about Missouri Hope and volunteering as a role player, contact Northwest faculty Travis Surprise at tsurprise@nwmissouri.edu or Peter Adam at padam@nwmissouri.edu.
Also this past week, Northwest students, faculty, and staff had the opportunity to get free flu shots on campus. When we return, reporter Evan Jacobson tells us more. You're watching Northwest News.
Are you tired of the same boring old TV? Tired of watching the same recycled content? Then try Gen 2! Gen 2 is your favorite place for all things gaming and tech related. Come check out our wide variety of games and reviews, catch the latest in gaming and tech news. And if you call right now for the low price of $0 down, you will even get 7 free, yes free, of our very own handcrafted shows and stories for your viewing pleasure. Don't miss out and call now to get the entire Gen 2 package for free! Gen 2, the full package just for you.
Thanks for sticking with us and welcome back to Northwest News. Last week, Northwest held a free flu shot clinic for students, faculty, and staff. Reporter Evan Jacobson has more information on the event.
Wellness Services recently offered the flu shot clinic for faculty, students, and staff. Judy Freed, the Director of Clinic Services and Wellness Services, breaks down just what the flu shot clinic is and why it is so important.
So the flu clinic, we offer it up for faculty, staff, and students. So it's just, we try to make it a more convenient place for people to come in, run in and get a flu shot and leave. So we had one last week at the Wellness Fair, and then we have one this week, and then we'll have one next week. And so hopefully we'll get some students and faculty and staff vaccinated so they'll be ready for the flu season. So I just think it's a great way to keep people safe. And so that's one of the things that Wellness Center does on the clinic side, is to try to protect all the staff and the students as well. So this is one way we do it.
Convenience is one of the things that Wellness Services hopes the flu shot clinic brings to the table.
Well, hopefully it's just the convenience of it. So with the students, we do file insurance, but they don't have to pay. So even if the insurance doesn't cover it or they don't have insurance, it's still a free service for the students. So that's one way to keep them safe, and it's one of the benefits of the wellness services for the students.
Preventing loved ones, classmates, and faculty safe from sickness are one of the reasons Northwest students feel open to getting their flu shot.
Well, I personally came because I have a son at home, so I'd much rather be protected from sickness, so I don't, go home and give him the sickness, because a sick baby is not a fun baby. But I feel like it's good that they host it on campus so that people can actually get it if they want it, so that everyone can be protected against it. We're not as sick throughout the year. You're not getting your professor sick or your fellow classmates sick, and they're taking it home to their families.
Working in the medical field and working with children is this student's reason for getting the shot.
I came to the flu shot clinic because I work around a lot of people, because I'm a ride operator. And so I work around a lot of people, more specifically children, and kids carry diseases that I don't want. And also, since I am most likely going to be taking up another job at a hospital, I'd have to get it anyways. And this was easy access to it, so I don't have to sit there in the employee nursing office and sit there while they give me a flu shot. It's just easily accessible.
For the stories that matter to you, I'm Evan Jacobson, Northwest News.
If you have any health or wellness related concerns, be sure to stop by the Wellness Center on campus. Their hours are from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday.
A club that many might not know about on campus is Northwest Fishing Club. The club provides access to collegiate fishing tournaments that compete against other colleges nationwide. Reporter Wiley Ray takes us out to Mozingo Lake with more on the club.
I'm Wiley Ray reporting for Northwest News, and currently the Northwest Bass Fishing Club has been reeling in new members this semester.
We've been growing a little bit. Northwest Fishing Club used to be a really big club, and it's kind of died off ever since, but this year, we're focusing on teaching new people how to fish. So when it comes to teaching people how to fish, we offer a lot of seminars to build your own lures, and guys will tell you out in the field that to the new guys, we'll show you guys how to throw certain lures, whatever style of fishing you're really looking into. There's someone in this club that knows what they're doing on it. Meet with MLF professionals just to gauge the aspect of what it means to be in the pros. It's a big step to take. It's a huge risk to take. I enjoy a lot of tournament fishing in my free time, so I'm very into that. Some people, aren't into that, and they just want to learn how to fish and just, get something new outside of college that they can just go do and have fun.
Not only is fishing a fun sport, but many look to it as a way to relax and recharge.
Fishing to me, it's always been escape. I learned that at a young age. When life comes knocking on your door, sometimes you just need to take some time out and go think clearly, and you can always do it out here in the outdoors.
In the past, the club has had a tournament team, but now they're taking a different approach.
This year, we don't have a boater this year, so really we're trying to focus on the club aspect, teaching people how to fish. I fish tournaments in my free time. I fish the Joe Bass series over the summer. Just qualified for Table Rock Lake, and I'm not going to get to fish it, so I'm not too happy about that. But in my free time, I enjoy kayak tournament fishing as well, so trying to squeeze in as many as I can.
For more information about the Northwest Fishing Club, you can follow them on Instagram or Facebook at NWMSU_fishing. For the stories that matter to you, I'm Wiley Ray, reporting for Northwest News. Be sure to check out the Northwest Fishing Club via Instagram at NWMSU_fishing. And if you are interested in joining, contact William Grunder for more information.
Up next, we'll check out some highlights from last week's edition of the Missourian, provided by Assistant News Editor Anna Bailey and Missourian reporter Zoey Smith. You're watching Northwest News.
Are you sick and tired of not knowing enough about life's trickiest questions and need answers now? Well, introducing Now You Know, your place to learn everything about anything with our host, the studious Alexander Snodderly.
You can count on me.
And if you call now, we'll even include our co-host, Katie Bird, as she talks one-on-one with viewers like you. Thanks, Katie Bird. Catch us Wednesdays at noon on KNWT TV.
Now you know!
Welcome back to Northwest News, the place where you can find news and whereabouts on what's happening in the Northwest and Maryville community. Thanks for sticking with us.
This week's stories from the Missourian include coverage on a recent bomb threat that targeted the Jefferson School District and accent exchange events hosted to help international students learn English.
A bomb threat targeted the Jefferson School District in Conception Junction, Missouri on September 19th. And all students and staff were evacuated as a result. Nottoway County Sheriff Randy Strong said a call to 911 from a Veterans Crisis Hotline came through at 1:34 p.m. after the hotline received the threat. It was reported that an individual messaged the hotline and said there were bombs in the elementary school side of the building.
Nottoway County Sheriff Randy Strong stated the Veterans Hotline saw a text chat and this individual reported, who identified himself as Eddie, and he stated that explosives have been placed in the elementary school and it's set to go off in 20 minutes. And then disconnected and he named the school. The FBI has communicated with Strong regarding the threat. Strong said the message came from a phone number belonging to a foreign country who is not cooperating with the FBI's investigation.
Strong said following the report, the school was immediately contacted. Deputies began responding to the location as soon as possible, and the ambulance district was present in case of an emergency.
The district evacuated everyone in the building after the school was empty. Strong said the officers began working the moment they arrived. They needed to make sure everything was safe and well checked.
There were no explosives found in the school during this search. There have not been any threats to Maryville, our two school districts, or other Maryville schools.
Now on to another story from the Missourian. The first accent exchange event of the semester occurred September 25th. The plan is to continue hosting this event at 5 p.m. every other Wednesday.
Put together by the International Involvement Center and the Writing Center, the goal of the accent exchange is to help international students better understand and speak English. The turnout reflected the amount of students who thought it would be beneficial for them.
The plan is to help international students through group conversations where they can learn more about the culture and different words and phrases heavily used in the United States. According to organizers of the event, the International Student Success and Outreach Coordinator Mohammed Hajiv said his goal for the continuous event is to eliminate language barriers.
Hajiv says sometimes it's hard for them to communicate with native speakers and listen and sit in classes and understand everything. That's why the Writing Center and us came together to practice their English and learn more so they could be more flexible in classes and talking to their peers.
For more on these stories, check out nwmissourinews.com online or pick up a paper out of the paper boxes on campus.
The final results are in for perhaps the second most important decision U.S. voters have to make this year.
128 Grazer, you see her right here, is the winner of the 2024 Fat Bear Week contest. 128 Grazer got more than 71,000 votes to earn the title.
The mama bear beat the male 32 Chunk in this furry election, who got just over 30,000 votes. The two bears had a face-off in the wild this summer in southern Alaska's Katame National Park and Preserve. It resulted in one of the Grazer's cubs succumbing to injuries.
This annual contest, which has been going on for a decade, is sponsored by the national park. Officials there say they do this to boost awareness about the state's wild brown bears.
More than 1 million votes were tallied through the site explore.org during the week-long competition.
Well, that's all the time we have for Northwest News. Be sure to go to the description below and rewatch certain sections of our show.
And be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for all of the latest news and updates. This has been Northwest News. Thanks for watching.